Moo. Mmm. What has a cow pound to do with sauerkraut? This learning video looks at the microbiology of sauerkraut production. Fermentation of sauerkraut serves as an example for how microorganisms can be used to produce foods. Both cowpunchers and sauerkraut producers use the process of fermentation in order to achieve their goals, which are the reduction of carbohydrate polymers and the change of moisture expansion and texture. In order to make the plant material more digestible, and in the case of sauerkraut, also to refine taste to make it more durable. Who is responsible for this process called fermentation? They are several microorganisms called lactobacilli, acetic acid bacteria, Staphylococcus, yeasts, and fungi. Most importantly, we are the lactobacilli. We want to look closer at them. In sauerkraut, the most important organisms are lactobacilli. We have three phenotypic groups in lactobacilli: obligatory, homofermenter, and optional, as well as obligatory heterofermenter. Homofermenter only produce lactate out of glucose, while heterofermenter produce lactate and ethanol, so two different products out of glucose. Why do I mention the difference between homo and heterofermentative lactobacilli? This is because of the three main actors in the fermentation of sauerkraut. They are called Leuconostoc mesenteroides, which is heterofermentative, Lactobacillus plantarum, which is homofermentative, and Lactobacillus brevis, which is heterofermentative. They build a so-called microbial succession. This means that one organism comes after the other in a well-defined order. Let's keep this picture in mind when we look at the several stages of fermentation. Let's start producing sauerkraut. First we need fresh cabbage in slices. We add 2% natrium chloride and some starting culture out of fresh cabbage juice. The mixture is kept at 20 degrees in a silo for 4 to 6 weeks. What is happening during that time? We want to go through the different stages. In the first fermentation phase, which takes 2 to 3 days, we find a mixed aerobic flora. Aerobic therefore, because these organisms need oxygen to drive their metabolism. Not surprisingly, the flora of the first phase is responsible for consumption of resting oxygen. In addition, they build gustatory substances such as acids, alcohols, and esters. In the second fermentation phase, which takes also 2 to 3 days, we find an anaerobic heterofermentative flora. As you may remember, the two heterofermentative lactobacilli play important roles now, Lactobacillus brevis and Leuconostoc mesenteroides. Now the food environment is completely anaerobic. Due to the activity of lactobacilli, which produce lactic acid, the pH value decreases. In addition, foam formation starts because of CO2 production. In the third fermentation phase, which takes 2 to 3 weeks and so much longer than the two former phases, we find an anaerobic homofermentative flora. Now Lactobacillus plantarum, which is a homofermentative lactobacillus, becomes dominant. With ongoing activity of lactic acid formation by lactobacilli, more and more acid-tolerant other organisms accumulate in sauerkraut. A flour consisting yeasts and acetic acid bacteria is built. Also organisms like Pediococcus increase in number. When pH reaches a value of about 3.5, the sauerkraut fermentation process is completed. So let's go back shortly and look again at this graph showing the microbial evolution and associated pH curve. We see that during fermentation of sauerkraut, pH is decreasing continuously while three different types of lactobacilli have their defined peaks in population size. Let's come to a final question. Let's assume that curve seen on the last slide looked completely different. This might be because a pre-existing plant flora had been contaminated with feces, because external organisms reached the xylose content during fermentation, or because of other failures like unfavorable environmental conditions. So, what could happen if the microbial succession gets disturbed? The answer is quite easy. Since this would be an out-of-control process, wrong organisms or right organisms at the wrong time could develop. Fungi could emerge and toxins may be built. Such a scenario would lead to the deterioration of the sauerkraut. In the end, what do we learn out of this video? We have seen that both cow punches and sauerkraut production use fermentation to make plant material more digestible. Fermentation for itself is not conceivable without microorganisms. We have learned that not any microorganisms are appropriate for this process, and they cannot succeed in any order. But the correct microorganisms must succeed in a very specific sequence. By the way, the same principle applies in producing many different kinds of foods, like yogurt, olives, bread, wine, and so on.